Welcome back to the MPI, guys. So I said off camera I'll try and have a bit of a play around with the shut lines and try and get the front end fitting the best I can. I think I'm very, very close. So I haven't really filmed what I've been doing because really what I've done is been pulling panels together and putting screws in, but I'll show you how I got to where I've got to now. This whole front end is screwed together and clamped together. It's not on the car by any stretch of the imagination. It all needs to come off again, clean the surfaces, and then I need to work out if I'm going to do the wings like this on the car, or if I'm going to take them off, weld them, and then put the whole car on as like the front panel wings together. I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to do that yet. I really just want to try and cover how I've got to this point with like the screws and stuff like that. But like I mentioned, grab some tech screws, guys. Literally just put it into eBay or Amazon, and you can buy them in bulk. I bought the little attachment. I'll show you that in a second. And literally, it's just, yeah, it's so much easier to align panels because you've not got clamps in the way. You just screw stuff together and it pulls stuff nice and tight. So really gives you that visual of where you're going with stuff. So let's check it out, guys. Right, so you'll notice the shut lines are a lot better than they were. They're not quite perfect, but now the adjustment's in the bonnet, so I can move the hinges. You can pull them, push them, and do what you like. But my main focus is it fits nice along the back, fits nice down both sides. There's just a bigger gap slightly this side, but like I mentioned, when I looked at the sidewalk, which I'll show you again, I have a similar issue here, and please excuse that. Look at those lines. It's just been dailied. Look how matte the lights are. There's like no shine to my chrome. So it's just been dailied for a week or so now. So she isn't looking the best. Yeah, but it's never really bothered me too much. But I do have a slightly bigger gap that side than I do that side. But look, like it's not noticeable. So these are pattern wings as well. So I'm kind of going with the frame that maybe that's just not a good wing. I don't know, but I've got this. I've actually got the MPI better than I've got mine, which is obviously a plus because it's an improvement. But yeah, it's common, guys. So I'm going to kind of go with the fact that is how it's going to be for a little while until I can adjust the bonnet. It's beautiful up here. It's so nice. I'm really happy with all that. Obviously, all this seems to have done now. All I've got to do is adjust these A panels because I'm not happy with that. And you can see where the A panel wants to sit, the pattern panel underneath there is protruding above it, and obviously the A panel needs to be up here, so I need to try and trim everything back a bit to try and move the A panel up. That's going to be today's task, and obviously I really want to get welding, so I'm not going to cover too much of this mucking around. I just want to show it to you now. Again, nice and tight. A panel this side, once it's pushed in, it fits better this side. Door gap's fine. This door's getting skinned, so I want to fit it with the original door like this to get it working, but I'm really happy with it. Like all the way along there, it's fine. Gaps are nice down here. Like I mentioned, I've got to do the Sportspack mod, so the ride height of the car that people are probably noticing. Yeah, it is sat on bump stops, so the suspension does need addressing, but that is not how it's going to stay. I believe I cut out about that much, so I make a dirty line in it there. It lifts this all up, and then you drill the holes to have the bigger arches. So what I was saying about this gap here, it's a bit horrible. I'll actually cut that through, so you won't notice, and then the arch will come like over this. And then the arch kind of joins up and has a moulding for the bumper, so you don't actually see any of that. So I'm not overly bothered by that. That's the least of my problems. I just want to get that pushed in a bit better, which I can do with a hammer and dolly. Yeah, so not too bothered by all of that. But what I'll do is I'll show you if I can always remember the hinges on a different point. So it's all tech screwed together. So it's got screws in it in various places, just holding it in, and that's how I've kind of got to where I've got. So this closes down nice, it fits nice and flush. Obviously there's no latch, the latch will pull it down, but when the latch pulls it down, look, it's quite nice. It's getting there, do you know what I mean? Like that is nigh on perfect. Pretty happy with that. Obviously, like I mentioned, the differences in the panels. You've got the cut out and stuff for the fan, and obviously radiator sits on the front, not the side. You've got the strength of the panels. You've got all different bracketry, mainly need to hold wiring because MPI's loves for a bit more wiring. But yeah, it's pretty good. I've noticed on this one, I've never really noticed it in other panels before, but you've even got like little divots, so you can have your grill holes all sort of marked out already for you. Judging how these panels are fitting, I wouldn't take that for gospel. I would definitely dry build your grill before you have paint. But yeah, we're getting there. A little bit more fettling, I think, guys. So I'm going to show you guys on a time lapse while I muck around a little bit more. I want to get the A panels fitting nicer, and then we'll just get the welder out. Let's just get on with it. Right, so yeah, again, we've run into another problem with the MPI. Obviously we're going to do the seals on it at some point because they're rotten and you can see how much ginger dust comes out of it. But yeah, it's gone a bit further up here. This is fine up to the further edge of the panel, but obviously it's just missing the tab, which is what you're used to weld the panel on. So the car was supplied with some new door steps, but the car really doesn't need new door steps. It just needs a few little bits tidying up on it. So I've got this that I had from the Budget Clubman. It's like I cut a piece out, I've used that. There's a part that was just given to me, so I'm going to cut this bit off as it looks absolutely prime to repair that. So before we bury that in with the A panel and then have to have a ball ache for a job to get to it after, we might as well repair that now, haven't we? So I'm going to trim this, cut this piece off here as it's kind of perfect how it is there, and then cut that out and then put a piece in, and then we put the A panel back over it and know that we've got a lip ready for the seal. So I've done that repair on that end of that A post down there, so that's all sorted. The A panel can now comfortably go over the top of it. I didn't want to leave that because you knew it would just be an issue, and little bits like that is where the rust starts eating away. So what I've done is I cut the little piece out, treated it behind, primed it, got a little piece back in. Like I mentioned in quite a few of my videos, don't ever throw away like offcuts of panels, because you never know when you're going to need them again. And I mean, the Budget Clubman was testament to that. I had so many little bits kicking around. It does really help just to have little bits of bats lying around, so that sorted that out. I've now made the decision, okay, with the wings and front panel. I'm going to take them off as a whole. I'm going to spot weld them together, and then they're going to go back on the car as one panel. I've come to this decision for a few reasons really. I'm struggling to hold clamps in place. I don't have enough clamps, for one. The panels aren't the best, it's number two. Number three, I also feel like I can get better spot welds, or that you can't get the spot welder in there to do all the welding that needs to be done like nice and tidily. So the way I'm seeing it is I can get this now as one panel, and then I can just make that fit the bonnet. So I'm already happy with all the other gaps. I've got all the tech screw holes, which are kind of reference points. So yeah, I'm going to go with that. This is the first time I've done it this way. Like I say, first saw it with Matt Green on his Jet Black Mini he did many years back. So yeah, I'm kind of going to adopt that approach. So thank you very much, Matt, for that. I think it's the best approach for these panels. They're not the best, but I managed to get them to fit nice. As you can appreciate, that's nice. That just needs tapping in there, but I can do all that once it's kind of got a bit of weld into it and a bit of heat into it. So I can just knock that out from the inside and things like that. So that's the next point of call. So like I say, all the holes from the tech screws are to reference points. One thing I'm going to do is just going to crack the welder out and just join the wing and the front panel together here. That is purely so, you know, again, even though they've got the reference points to there, that's keeping that line there. I like how it fits now. I like how it fits at the back of the wings, and then I'm just going to make the A panels fit into it. It's the best way to do it. I've been mulling around this. I must have drunk 7 or 8 cups of tea over a period of a few days. Obviously, I've been trying to sort this out, and there's just no way around it now. Let's just what the heck, let's just get it on. So yeah, I'm going to stick you guys on time lapse. I'm just going to tack these corners in here under the bonnet, so just so that these two are joined. Probably a few of you are going to ask how I'm going to weld it to the inner wings. That's easy. Once these are on, I can whip the wheels off. Once I've found the locking wheel nut, I'm going to whip the wheels off, and then what I can do is just clean up the inner wings before I put this one panel, as it's going to be, back on. Clean that up, you know, it's all primed behind already, clean that back, and then I can just seam weld all that in together. So I'm not bothered by that, but obviously I need to get the wheel off to be able to do that. Like I say, before I've welded the front panel on, then put the wings on and blah, 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 blah. But I think this is going to be the better way. I might turn around and say it's not, but if this works on this car, then I'm definitely going to do it on the 89 build. That actually brings me to another point on 89 build. I'm going to do a walk around of it again soon. It's been a long while since it's been on the channel. It basically started the channel. It's not been forgotten. It's just financial implications in my life and stuff like that. It's between me and my other half, we want to get it right. So there's big plans for it. So I'm going to bring that to the channel soon, guys. I just thought I'd stick that in there. But let's get this tacked on. Let's get it taken off. Off now. I'm going to carry on cleaning back under obviously where I'm going to do the spot welds, clean back the inner wings now, sort all that out, and then we'll get it fitted back into the car basically for the last time. But obviously I'll clean back everything. There's a lot of cleaning that's going to happen. I'm going to do that off camera, guys, because it's just going to get messy and dusty. But all I'm doing is just using a flat disc just to clean everything back, and then I'm going to etch prime stuff. So I've got some sort of nice paint between the two surfaces, and then we're just going to get welding. I'll get back to you guys once I'm ready to do that. What I'll do is I'll fit the front end back on. Yeah, and without further ado, I think it's going to be getting there. We can tick this off the list finally, and I mean finally. So let's see how this goes. Let's get this cleaned up, and then let's move forward. Right, guys, do you want to laugh? I've just cleaned all this back. Got them all looking lovely. Ready for, I've put the obviously screws back in. Went and tried to spot weld it, and the angle that my arms are on the spot welder aren't adjustable, or the most adjustment I have put into them. Still won't let the body and the arms clamp that. I mean, looks like it's time for a MIG welder. I've obviously got the holes and stuff where this is, and I'm just going to seam weld the bugger it. Not the best way of doing it, but I guess it's a very, very strong way of doing it. But what a pain in the arse. What I'm going to do is obviously do some plug welds and stuff like that as well. So it's a bit of a mixture of both. Probably stitch it as plug it. That's how I did the one on the sidewalk, because obviously I never had access to a spot welder. So, but what a pain in the arse. What an absolute pain in the arse. Alright, so it's set up. Well, that thing. Right, guys, so I've kind of gone ahead and started to stitch weld after our spot welding plan didn't work. And one big thing, and I did mention this a little while ago when I was mocking up all the front end, is these bits that protruded here, with a little bit of heat into them, it might sort it out. Obviously it's going to need a skim for filler, but it's sorted it out. So all the paint's burnt off it from the inside, and that's completely flush now. So yeah, pretty happy at that. So that's a really nice gap. I'll flip it over now and show you. Basically a plug weld, and then stitch weld between. Absolutely rock solid. So I'm happy with that. I'm not quite finished with it, but we're going to move on to the other side now. I'll chuck you guys on a time lapse and we can have a proper look. But going to get this done. Going to clean back these edges, clean back the edges on the car, and then I really just want to get this kind of back in its place, screwed back in, and start testing the A panels just to double check. Then let's just get it on. So this was never the way I wanted to do it. However, this has been a better way of doing it than when I did the sidewalk, which is now covered up. Just purely because you got access, you can get to it all. So there's nicer welds. I've actually nicer welds on here than I have on the other sides of the car. So yeah, it's nice little stitch welds, and yeah, this is absolutely rock solid. So obviously all the metal's already cleaned up. We can now crack on and do this side. Got the same issue obviously on the side with this poking out, but I'm going to hopefully get enough heat in that corner again. You have to pull that tight, because you can see there that those two panels should not be together. So we can make it work. So I'll get you guys set up. So, same again, stitch welded up, really happy with that. Also, again, I've managed to pull this side in by putting a bit of heat into it. So, yeah, let's get it back on, see how it looks. First of all, I'm just going to clean back the car, because obviously I've cleaned it back a few times now, it just needs doing again, because obviously it's been left to the elements a little bit. So we're going to quickly go back on both of these wings, and then let's get it slammed in. I'm going to clean back in here as well, start getting some tacks on. How much in this episode I can fit in. I don't want to make it a massively long episode, but yeah, let's just push forward. So there might be a lot less of me talking and random crap and just getting on with it, guys, because I just really want to get this front end on now. So I'm going to clean this back and get it fitted, and I'll bring you guys back in. Right guys, front end is back on. It's fitting exactly as it did before, apart from these corners here on both sides. Like I say, I've got enough heat in those corners to be able to do that. So really, this has gone wrong and then gone right. So I can't get the spot welder in to do them, so I didn't get as much heat into it. If I'd done it the spot welding way, I probably wouldn't have been able to pull them corners back in as nicely as I have done. And really, I've stashed some zinc primer over it all, and it's actually quite seamless. I'm actually quite impressed. This is a nicer front end than what I've done on the sidewalk, to be honest, like welding wise anyway. So we're going to, in the next episode, so I'm going to make this a part 1 and part 2, guys, otherwise it's just going to be too long. Weld the tabs to the inner wing. This then will never ever come off this car. But before we do that, we're going to go sort the A panels out. So I've just offered one up that end and offered one at that end. This wing needs to just come up a little bit at the back, so it's going to take a little bit of jiggery pokery, and a lot of the tech screw drill bit was probably more than these, and it really needs to be done to sort that. But we can use a spot welder there, so nice and cleaner. So yeah, onwards and upwards, guys. This is a big day for this car. It's got a nice solid front end back on it. Obviously kind of 60% there, we're not finished. Got to do the A panels. So with the budget clubman, I managed to put the whole thing on in one go. So I kind of got everything set together, like tacked it all, screwed it all, and did the whole thing, A panels forward. That was only made possible because the car was stripped. And the car was up 4 stands. If you've ever seen that episode, or that series, sorry, 4 stands. I could get in the arches. It just had a subframe holding it all together, and I used that as my reference point, really. So wrong or right, the clubman was different. It was an accident damaged car, so it needed a lot of pushing and pulling. This isn't. This is just, I guess, just panels that aren't quite playing ball. I'm fully aware that the bonnet shut lines aren't perfect. This side is absolutely perfect. The bonnet is nicely like latched into place, and it's that nice. Try and get the latch out. Nope, I've actually put the latch in. So yeah, I'm really happy with it. It's, considering where this car's sort of started, it's getting there. So I'm glad that these two is now, it feels like a solid car now. It's not all held together with clamps. So just got to do the A panels, guys. So if you haven't already, please like this video. It really helps us get noticed on YouTube. It also helps like other people that are watching the same content as you guys kind of pick up on it as well. This is obviously a different build to the Budget Clubman, to the 89 and stuff like that. So I'm hoping we've got a bit of everything out there. So this is similar sort of work to what James's Mini is going to need as well. So obviously that'll be coming at some point. But yeah, thank you very much for supporting the channel, guys. Thank you very much for watching. And yeah, part 2 is on its way. I'm going to kind of get prepped up and ready to go for that. So catch you next one, guys. Please stay safe. If you haven't already, please check out our sponsors, Frost, in the link in the description below. Also, if you haven't already, please check out Mini World. There is an advert for Frost with our little Budget Clubman on there. So thank you very much, Frost, for that. And yeah, absolutely buzzing about that. So we're going places, guys. Hopefully, you know, I'm really looking forward to the future. And yeah, it's about saving classics, isn't it? Not just minis, just in general classics. So stay safe, guys. Catch you next one.